Hello everyone, my name is Amber Nichols-Buckley and I teach Writing 101 and 102 at the University of Mississippi in the Department of Writing and Rhetoric. And I'm here to share a little bit with you about quaranteaching tools, specifically how I used Instagram this past spring when we had to suddenly go to distance learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So the reason I chose Instagram was because I'm already a frequent user of Instagram. I suggest that if you do decide to use social media to keep up with your students, that you choose the platform that just is most comfortable to you, because then there won't be so many new bells and whistles you have to use. So for me with Instagram, what really got me interested in using it is the story feature, which is down here, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But essentially, when you set up, if you choose to use it, you can set up your Instagram account to be very recognizable to your class. So I teach in the Fast Track program, and you can, set your handle to be specific to that. And in your bio, you can also give resources. So I just have my name and what's going on in my class, but then I also have a link to our class blog, which is where students would go for our class content. And they already knew this. We were using Blackboard, and then we used our class blog for sort of class videos and class discussion. And so some people may feel like, well, using Instagram, isn't that just doubling up on all the work? To me, Instagram ended up being a place where I could share resources, and you certainly could use it to lecture or provide content for your students. But most of my Instagram was just kind of reminders about things, because I thought as they're scrolling through Instagram, once they follow me, they'll see something come up, maybe a meme like this one that tells them, hey, don't forget to finish your final drafts of your arguments. The time is now. So that was sort of the function of most of the picture posts that I did, which you can see were not many. I only did 14 pictures through the whole couple of months. What I used it most for were these stories. But just to show you some things you can use, obviously memes, the students respond well to those. I shared a lot of personal things, lots of things with my animals or my child. I also sometimes would put pictures of really good examples of some of the class content to say, hey, this is a really strong sample. If you need help with how to structure your writing, you need to email me or check out some of your peers' work. So I used it for that. The stories, though, were the function that I really wanted to use this for. Basically, if you're not familiar with stories, they're just very short snippets. They can be video recordings or pictures. You can also embed little things in them like emojis and GIFs, text, things like that, that just make them fun and kind of funny and interesting to students. It first started out I was going to use stories just to kind of say, hey, I'm still here. I wanted the students to see my face, to be honest, because face-to-face instruction was really important to me and to our class and community. But then it turned into a place that I could go for all kinds of things, like sharing resources. So I'll share with you a few things. Notice too, all of these, I'm not trying real hard. I want the students to see me in quarantine teaching the way I am. So a lot of times my animals might be in the videos, my child might, because I was also homeschooling her as I was teaching. I'm often in my pajamas or with a coffee cup. So anyway, I'll show you my very first one just to kind of show you how this all started. Did you know by No, my sound's not working. Here you can see that I am just kind of talking to them. Hey, we're all in this together. That was basically my message for this first one. But you can see some of the little things here, like the different gifts that you can show students. So here I'm telling them that their grades are in and they're welcome to go in and look for their feedback. And then you can add these little gifts like grading all day, every day, just for fun. Then I started using it as I started to see that students had questions, or I was seeing something come up consistently in some of the work that they were doing that I thought, hey, I want to address this today because I know they're working on it. So here's an example of that.
Hey guys, don't forget, someone want to say tutorial.
All right, let me go back a little bit.
And,
so these are archived by day. So here's an example.
So I got a question this morning about how to do MLA citations, just someone who needed a review of that. Don't forget, we often use the online writing lab through Purdue University. So you can go in and just Google that and Google MLA, and it'll take you here. It also gives you a citation generator option from Citation Machine, but it gives you much more in-depth information about formatting. And
so you can see there, you know, I'm using the stories to actually share some resources because I'm having these questions kind of come up over and over again. Now, these students did have to have an Instagram account to view this, which wasn't necessarily a problem for most of my students. But do keep in mind, if you want this to become like part of your class content, you would need to provide your little story videos on whatever your learning management system is, like Blackboard or Canvas. I did not feel a need to do that because not too much of this stuff did they have to know that, you know, there were announcements in the other in our blog and on Blackboard that they could see, but this was just a supplement to some of that. Here's some, you know, just to kind of see other ways I used it.
Hey guys, Miss B here. It's Monday, April 6th, and our peer review on the class blog is lit. Everybody's in the space, commenting. Y'all are giving some great feedback. I got Junebug here.
So that's kind of fun. You know, I could get in. I did notice that "hey guys" was my crutch word. So you also notice things about yourself that are kind of funny. A lot of these are cringeworthy looking back on, but I do think it helped with students. Sometimes I just send them messages like this, to be honest.
Hey guys, I just have been reading our discussion board from today, and I'm reading all of this advice that you guys have for next year's freshmen, and it just makes me miss you all so much.
So, I mean, sometimes I just would get on there to tell them that I was missing them and that I just cared. And so what I wanted to share with you too, I did a survey at the end of 102 just to get their feedback on how it went as we transitioned to online classes. And I did get this bit of feedback about Instagram that the students said it helped me get a sense of who you are as a professor, and that yes, you have a life out of class just like us. It helped them make the class feel more close, and that they didn't necessarily feel that in some of their other classes as we transitioned online. So I hope this was helpful to you. You are welcome to email me with any questions if you want to know, you know, maybe how to do stories. The best thing, to be honest, is just to kind of play with it and see what works for you. But I would be happy to share any tips or tricks. And I'd definitely love to hear from you if you want to share with me some of the things that you've done as well. You can see my email down here. It's asnickel@olemiss.edu. And thanks a lot for your time.